This video is about applying for the Farming Equipment and Technology Fund 2023 Productivity and Slurry Portal. You can apply for animal health and welfare separately. To apply, you must be registered on our Rural Payments Service. Log in and check your details, correcting them if needed. Your application details must exactly match our records, or you'll need to reapply or provide more details, delaying your application. Your single business identifier and customer reference numbers must both be correct, or we can't process your application without them. If you don't know your customer reference number, watch this YouTube video. Enter how to find your customer reference number in the Rural Payments Service into the YouTube search bar to find it. Those applying must have either make legal changes or full permissions to apply. To apply, go to the Farming Investment Fund landing page on gov.uk. Click the link to the FETF page to navigate to the online application portal and the scheme manual. Applications take about 20 minutes to complete if all your details are ready. Before starting, read the scheme manual carefully. Check you're eligible for the fund and that you understand the rules that apply. When first accessing the portal, there's a cookie statement. Select How we use cookies for more information or click Close. Next comes the first page of this portal. Click Apply Now. To prevent unwanted spam submissions, we ask you to tick this box confirming you're human. Click Continue. Details of the person completing the application. We need to identify you as an RPA customer. Tell us if you are an agent applying for a customer by selecting Yes or No. I will complete this application as a customer, so I am selecting No. Agents should select Yes and complete as instructed. Enter and confirm your 10-digit CRN and the business email address that's registered on the Rural Payments Service. To avoid errors, we disabled the copy and paste option in this section. You can add another contact email address here or select No. All the emails we send you about FETF will be from either fetfinquiries@rpa.gov.uk or fetfclaims@rpa.gov.uk. You can add them to your trusted senders list, but always check your spam and junk mail folders too. Click Continue. Details of the business receiving the grant. From here, just use the back link or Continue button to navigate through your application. Enter and confirm your business's 9-digit SBI number. Add the full business name and the business postcode in capitals as shown. Remember, all of these details must match our records. Click Continue. Details of the owner or main person in the business receiving the grant. Enter your first name and surname. For monitoring purposes only, we ask for your gender. Your application's not affected and you can select Prefer Not to Say. Click Continue. We now need the full postal address and contact details of the business receiving the grant. The postcode will be pre-populated from the details provided earlier. Enter at least one phone number so we can contact you if required. Click Continue. Location of grant-funded items. Will grant-funded items be kept and used at the business address you provided? Grant items must stay in England as other schemes cover Wales and Scotland. If selecting No, enter the postcode of the main location where these items will be kept. Contractors should enter the postcode for where they will usually be stored when not in use. If you're not a contractor, you can add up to 2 more postcodes for places where items will be kept and used. Contractors can skip this last question. Click Continue. Additional details of the business receiving the grant. Choose the closest option for your business type. Select your main business activity. Now choose the most suitable option for the structure or business type you have. Click Continue. Next comes the size of the business receiving the grant. Select your business size using the Business Size Guide to help. State how many full-time equivalent employees you have, including any paid business partners or directors. Enter 0 if you employ nobody. Click Continue. Details about your land you farm and or manage. Add the amount of hectares for each relevant land type. Figures can be approximate if you don't know the exact areas. Contractors with no land should just tick the box at the bottom of the screen. Click Continue. Additional details about you. Are you applying to fund items you'll use for contracting services? If yes, add the type of work that is, and if relevant, any professional contractors organisation you are in. We'll select No. Enter your company's house number if you are a limited company, and your VAT number if you are VAT registered. Contractors who can't provide any of this information must send us proof of their status. Email fetfenquiries@rpa.gov.uk, attaching evidence such as your invoices, bank statements, accounts, or contracts. Click Continue. Equipment items being applied for. From the next 7 screens, select the items you want grant funding for. You do not have to choose from every category. These screens work in the same way, so we'll update the first category and skip the rest. The first screen is horticultural items. You can only choose items listed in Annex 3 of the scheme manual, and they must meet the minimum specification. Click Add Item and pick the item you want from the drop-down list. The default quantity is 1. For more than one item, type the number required in the quantity box. Item costs are fixed. You must pay the rest of the purchase price yourself. Add items by clicking on the Add Item button again. Remove items by clicking the Remove button to the right of the item concerned. Subtotal of the grant requested you would receive is in the calculator box at the top right of the screen. It updates as you add or remove items. You must apply for between £1,000 and £25,000 of grant. To move on to the next category of items, click Continue. For the rest of the selection pages, I'm clicking Continue to move on. Now we need other livestock or forestry related information. If applying for livestock items, enter the approximate number of bovine animals you have now. Enter your main county parish holding, CPH number, for where most of your livestock are registered. If you've no livestock, leave the field blank or enter 0. If you're applying for livestock items but don't have any animals yet, explain why in this box. Forestry owners must enter the relevant land parcel IDs in that box. Click Continue. Now check your answers. This screen summarises your application before it's submitted. Check that all the information is correct, including applicant and business details, and all the items you want grant funding for. To correct anything, click on the back icon and amend those pages. The summary shows the total grant amount you can claim if you are successful. If your application is approved, you must buy, fully pay for, install and make operational, if required, everything you have applied for by the deadline shown in the scheme manual to get your grant. Refundable deposits can be paid on items before receiving your grant funding agreement if the suppliers agree. There's more information on this in the scheme manual along with advice if you have trouble getting items. We may let you amend your GFA in some cases. Details are in the scheme manual. When you are sure the details are correct, click Continue. To help us reach future applicants, please tell us how you heard about the scheme. If none of the options in the drop-down menu apply, enter your answer in the If Other, Please Specify box. Click Continue. Now tell us about any farm assurance or livestock health schemes that you are part of. This is for information purposes only, but may help us shape future schemes. Select Yes or No. If you select Yes, a list will appear. Choose all that apply. If selecting Other, add details in the box provided. Now tell us if you are in a livestock health or disease prevention scheme. If yes, enter the details in that text box. Click Continue when done. Finally, we come to the declaration statements. Read these carefully. If you are happy, tick the My Declaration box confirming that you have read and understand the declaration statements. The scheme manual lists conditions for these grants in Annex 1 and the terms and conditions in Annex 2, and that DEFRA, RPA or a third party on our behalf can contact you about your application for feedback to help us improve future services or schemes. Clicking the Submit button completes the application. The next page confirms that your application has been submitted. Also provides your unique FETF 6-digit reference number. Click on Print Summary page to print or save a PDF copy of this screen for keeping securely with your records. You should also write down the reference number or take a screenshot of this page. You can now close the web page. You'll get an automated email from fetfenquiries@rpa.gov.uk to say we've received your application and remind you of your FETF 2023 reference number. If you don't receive it within 30 minutes, check your junk and spam folders. If no email arrives, we may not have your application. If that happens, you should complete and submit a new one. You can't amend your application if you've made a mistake, but if the application window is still open, you can reapply. If there's more than one application for an SBI, we'll accept the most recent. We'll assess your application, validating you against the Rural Payments Service and checking you're eligible. We will contact you about any differences between your application details and our records. Your application score will not be shown in the portal, but you can work out your own score by calculating the average score of the items in your application. The scoring for each item is available in the manual annex. If you're successful, we'll email you a grant funding agreement, GFA, stating your grant award total and including the claim form template. If your application is rejected, you won't get a grant, but we will explain why. Any queries, email us at fetfenquiries@rpa.gov.uk or call us on 03000 200 301. Select the option for the Farming Equipment and Technology Fund and quote your reference number. For more information on RPA, follow our social media channels. On Twitter, search for @RuralPay. On Facebook or YouTube, it's Rural Payments Agency. Or read our blog by going to ruralpayments.blog.gov.uk. Thank you for watching this video. We hope it was helpful.